But yeah, I mean, it went from having a ton of money, being very successful, to pretty much losing everything.
Wow.
And my wife and I just kind of had to, like, you know, we actually moved out of San Antonio. Because I grew up in a small town. We actually moved to a small town, kind of reset our mindset, and kind of said, hey, let's you know, figure this out, and just went back to work. I mean, I just went back to what I do, you know. And that's what I tell, and he knows nobody's gonna outwork me. I mean, I'll tell anyone that, you know. So and that's why I'm successful.
Man, that is so good. Yeah, a lot of young entrepreneurs come to me and they say, well, how can I guarantee my success? And I said, success is not guaranteed.
Yeah.
But if you want your best shot at it, be the first one here and the last one to leave.
No, yeah.
The more you work, the luckier you get.
Every time. And so
be tenacious. Be like. So when I got started in real estate back then, you know, there was no MLS, right? You had books. I mean, you had to go through books literally to find listings and stuff. That. It was crazy. So I would cold call though. I'd take phone duty all day long.
I love that.
I would pick up everyone's phone duty. They didn't want it, right?
Yeah, of course.
These older agents.
Yeah,
were like,
I'm too busy.
I would pick it up. I'd sit in the office just hoping for a phone call, right?
That's awesome.
And then at night, I'd go home and I'd cold call expired listings like a madman.
Wow.
And I got a ton of listings from that. I mean, it was literally, I had one guy, one time, he told me, you know what? I'd call him. He finally was like, you know what, Clay? Come to my house tomorrow night, list my house. I just don't want you to call me anymore.
Yeah.
He was like, you've called me.
Harassing to a
Yeah.
deal.
He was like, you've been calling me every 2 days.
That's
for the last month. Like, just leave me alone. Come list my house.
That is so cool.
But I was just tenacious, right? I was just at it and didn't know how to take no for an answer.
I love that. I love that. Man, that is some gold for who's ever's listening or watching this. Is just, you know. And it's interesting, you know, your story is very, very similar, like in a lot of ways to mine. Of course, a little bit of different time, you know what I mean? I like 10, because during the recession, so that was 2007, 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
I was coming up back then.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I just got my license, and I remember I was waiting tables prior to that.
Yeah.
So I came in, and I remember talking to the agents, and they're like, the market. And I was like, I'm doing pretty good right now. You know, I made 20, 30 grand last month. That's the most money I've ever made in my life. And everybody else is talking about how bad the market is.
Yeah.
But, you know, when I figured it out, I'd show up earlier. I'd stay later. I'd pick up all the extra stuff. Mm-hmm. I remember it was a Memorial Day one time, and nobody was coming into the office. Yeah. And back then we were Remax. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have, this is 2008 or 2009. Right. People just call in or knock on the door and come in. Right. And I told my son, he was like 3 years old, 4 years old at the time. I said, hey, we're going to hang out at the office today. We'll do something fun later. Right. And, man, that was one of my best days as a young agent. I remember I picked up 2 listings, 3 buyers, you know. And everybody was at barbecuing and hanging out with the family. And that was my best day.
Yeah, but people still need to do business, you know.
Everybody.
And they're like, hey, if this guy's here, this is who I want.
That's so cool.
Because this is the guy that's working.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah.
Man, so those sleepless nights back during that, so you got back to that small town. You started working. You started doing what you had to, right?
Yeah.
You know, those deals, did a lot of them fall through? Did you have to, were you able to keep them, you know, in place to where you could make good on them years later?
Some deals, yeah. Some deals I did. Some deals I had to just walk away from, to be honest. Some deals I was like, pretty much, here's the keys back, you know, almost. Like I had to just give it back to the bank, to be honest, because I couldn't keep everything afloat. And, you know, I tried too long, probably. You know, hindsight, I probably should have dropped some stuff sooner. Yeah. But my pride, you know, very prideful guy, just couldn't.
Stubbornness a little bit.
Yeah,
too,
very stubborn.
Yeah.
And just held on too long to a lot of stuff. Probably should have, you know, would have saved me some heartache. But you know, hindsight's 2020.
So walked away from some stuff.
Yep. And was able to keep some stuff, and had some good guys step in and help me out on some stuff.
That's great.
And
that's great.
Kind of get through it, and it was a fight, but we made it through it, and now, you know, taking off.
When did things start to get better for you? Like, was it 2010, 2011, 2012? Like, and what made you kind of come back to San Antonio and start to really push aggressively again?
Yeah, probably 2012. And it was really for me, probably even. It was good. It was good, right? It was but then 2016 almost. It was a pretty long time for me to fight through it, to just keep digging out, and finally, then just really hit it, and then took off.
Okay. And so really it was kind of late 2010s that things started to kind of really come around for you, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Now, were you doing the duplexes, triplexes, quadplexes back then, or were you just doing your doing normal building?
A little bit of everything.
Okay.
When I went through everything, I mean, I did some custom homes. I would do, you name it, and that's kind of what's helped me be successful, is not being stuck in just one thing.
Okay.
But being open to, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I've got to be able to maneuver and be creative.
That's good. That's good. So you've shifted a little bit when you had to.
Yep.
And that's another thing too. It's like if something works well for a long time, it may not work well all the time.
Yeah.
And that's why too, like even in this season, as we're in a really tough market, the statistics came out, that we started off the year with 1.6 million realtors. With the trend we're on, we're going to end the year with just over 1 million. So that means over 500,000 realtors are getting out of the business.
That's crazy.
The mortgage business, I mean, there's some, hundreds of thousands of people that already gave up on that deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's such a tough market.
It's been difficult. Yeah, not been easy.
And the challenges too, I mean, for a lot of folks is like, well, I'm not going to lower the price on my house. Right. I'm not going to lose that money. I'll just sit on it.
Yeah.
I'll take it off the market. Okay, it didn't happen. I'll try for next year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll either rent it out and lose a little money or make less, and then I'll just wait and see what happens. So we're in this really crazy holding pattern right now where, inventory doesn't ever get to like the number it needs to get to for prices truly to come down. Right? And so it's like a lot of people say, well, when are the rates going to come down? And of course, in the news, it's Powell and it's his fault. You know what I mean? It is probably a bit of his fault. Some things, certainly some things are. But I always tell people, it's like I could see this pattern kind of continuing because all those people that have those 3% interest rates are not interested in selling right now or lowering their price to a price where it will sell. Right?
Right.
And so it's like, okay, well, what are we going to do? And it's like, well, you got to keep doing the best you can, number one, but you got to open yourself up to like, okay, if that didn't work in the past, what are you going to do now?
Yeah, right.
Like how are we going to shift?
Be open to change, you got to be open to be creative.
And that's what I love about your model is it's innovative. You know what I mean? It's and I think initially innovation comes with a lot of the naysayers. Like anytime you're innovative, like I've been an innovator in real estate, I've been more of a tech heavy. I remember there was a time when I first got started, building my websites and doing social media, and they're like, "Oh, that's a fad."
Right. Oh yeah.
And now it's like, well, look, at being right there, right?
Oh yeah.
Now those guys are becoming obsolete.
Right.
And there's this new generation of professionals that know how to market themselves and market themselves quickly.
Yeah.
Right. And so, tell us a little bit more about like the duplex, triplex, quadplex developments and how is that, I know you and I spoke a little bit about the retail side of it and how, the house hacking and that sort of thing. But like, when did it start for you? And now that it's kind of gathering steam and it's making so much more sense for a lot of these younger home buyers that, they don't need the huge houses and they're looking for something where they can develop some equity, and help with their monthly costs. Like when did that light bulb come off for you?
So we've been in that model for a long time, but we've always been appealing to investors, and that's that's a majority of our business. So we, when rates were 3%, we were selling like hotcakes, right? Because investors, it just made so much sense. Then when rates went up, we had to get creative. So what we do now is we offer a 3.75 interest rate through a buy down. Basically, we're doing a builder forward commitment's what it's called, with our lender, and so we'll buy a tranche of mortgages basically and utilize that money to provide that 3.75 rate. So that's what helps us market to our investors. Without that, would be be tough
shape.
And that's kind of, we started that program quite a while ago, and have been doing that for a while. That's really helped us be successful. And now you'll see, it's funny how you said earlier, a lot of people, you come up, you're creative, you come up with something, and then a bunch of naysayers, right? So similar for us. I mean, we came out with that program, people were like, oh, is that going to work? What's a catch? But now my competitors, are offering it too because they have to.
They have to now.
Because I'm out selling them.
You're out selling them.
You know? So now they're offering it all of a sudden. But
Yeah.
So now that just makes me got to do something different. And at some point, they're not going to be able to do what I can do. I know that, you know, because I can be very creative. And so it's always a challenge. So I like that, you know.
Well, that's the art of the deal, right?
Exactly.
We got to keep. You know, what's crazy too is they built so many apartment complexes in San Antonio, and we do work with a lot of like investors and commercial people that are looking to buy. So the apartment complex, you know, acquisitions are still pretty good, but what we're seeing those vacancy rates go up a lot more.
Right.
And what they're doing is the new ones that come down, they're undercutting them. I mean,
Yeah.
you can get a brand new apartment, nice place, 2-bedroom for like $1,000 a month on 1604 281 area.
Oh, yeah. Just filling
And so
them
they're
up.
moving you out of the old place and moving you to the new, and you're saving $500 a month
Right.
just to fill them up.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're sitting empty, and then the older spots are sitting empty.
Yeah.
And so as we kind of like look at some of these deals and say, well, why is their vacancy, you know, so high and the occupancy so low? And it's like, well, you know, they're moving out because it's kind of they're filling in, and so it's like, but so many people don't want to be in the apartments at all.
Right.
They'd rather be in like, even if it's, I got to share one wall that's not sharing a roof and sharing a floor and sharing both walls.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what a lot of our neighborhoods that we do are right next to an apartment complex or really close. We like that because we're going to take those tenants.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to give you a backyard. We're going to give you a garage. Going to give you a lot of amenities. And so it's something where it's easy for us to take those tenants from apartments.
Yeah.
But the market now has been a challenge, though.
Yeah.
You've seen rental rates definitely slow down.
Slowed. It's
I think next year it will start to go back up because they're going to be. There's been oversupply, you know, overbuilding of apartments. Now
big
that's,
time.
Next year it should flip.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
And
good.
so you'll see some of that.
That'll
slowing.
help.
That will help. Definitely.
That'll help.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about Tristan a little bit because I mean I've been incredibly impressed with him.
No,
you know,
Thank you.
it's so funny because my oldest son, he's kind of a talker like me. You know what I mean? And he's real driven, but you know he grew up with me as a realtor, and when he got to the age of kind of deciding what he wanted to do as an adult. He was like, "Nah, Dad, that's a little boring," you know. And I'm like, "Boring? What do you mean? This is fun, you know?" And it's his
great,
friends.
right?
His friends were actually, "Nah, dude, I want to work with your dad," you know.
Yeah.
So his buddies were like more wanting to work with me, but he was like, "Nah, I need something more exciting." So he ended up joining the Army.
Oh wow.
And you know he's done fantastic. I'm
Yeah,
real
yeah.
proud of him.
Yeah. Well, tell him thank you. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate
great.
that. He's doing great. He's out there at Fort Drum in upstate New York, and so. And he's already talking. It's so funny because he called me the other day and was like, "Dad, I'm gonna use my VA loan to get a duplex." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"I got the one for you, son."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sold.
Yeah, he wants to use his VA loan.
Yeah, smart.
So he's there, and you know that's a huge thing for our veterans, especially here in San Antonio.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, anytime I hear a veteran that hasn't used their VA loan, it's like, oh man, it almost hurts my heart.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
You're
mean? Because
missing
it's
out.
like this is a great way to save money. It's the only tool you get. But Tristan, like, how did you guys kind of come to that? Like, Tristan, how did you get interested in the family business? Was it just something that you always had, or did it was there a light bulb moment for you where you were like, no, I want to do what my dad does?
Yeah, there really was no choices. Like, you're doing this. No,
See,
but,
that's the trick, isn't it? Right?
no, but just watching him grow up and like all the work
Yeah.
he did, I kind of felt like this is the right path for me.
Yeah.
I like being outside, like working with all the trades, so
Okay.
it's an easy way for me to get in.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And was it the same for Tyler too? I mean,
Yeah, Tyler got started
yeah.
with me early. He was in high school still, and
Yeah.
he was finding lots for me.
Was he
Just
really?
He wanted to make some money, you know? He was
Okay.
like, man, I want to make some money, Dad. I was like, go find lots, you know?
Yeah.
Do mail-outs, cold
Yeah.
call. And he was finding lots for me when he was like 17 years old.
That's
And
crazy.
so now he's transitioned to where he's our land acquisitions director.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he knows any piece that goes on the market, he knows about it.
It's very frustrating for me because I want to like find some land every now and then and
Yeah.
contribute.
Yeah.
And there's this one deal I found.
Yeah.
It was listed for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I was all excited. I told him all about it. He's like, "Oh, I saw that one 2 weeks ago."
What?
And I was like, "How? It's not even listed." And
Wow.
he's just amazing
Got
at
his
it.
connections.
It's got it
you know?
dialed in.
Yeah.
There. Okay.
Yeah.
So, when you were raising, did you always have them as a part of the business early on, or did you kind of keep them out of it a little bit, and then as they grew older, kind of get them a little like in their teens and stuff, get them a little involved? And is that how it kind of came about, or was it just?
No, they've been always kind of in it and around it. And
Yeah.
I mean, I remember having him little. I mean, man, I don't
Picking up trash on the job site.
Yeah,
just-
Yeah?
well, yeah. You know, actually, he was like probably 4 or 5 years old,
Yeah.
And I would take him, and he would pick up trash on the job site for me.
Lay grass and
lay grass,
random
little
tasks.
things. I remember we did some homes in Del Rio.
Yeah.
Right. This is back in the day. He was like 4 years old, and we had a kiosk at the mall.
Yeah.
And I would put him up there handing out flyers to people walking around.
No one's gonna say no to a kid.
Yeah.
Strategy.
Yeah, so just kind of got him involved early. Him and all my kids, and my wife too is involved, and she runs our property management company, so she's involved in the business. And
That is so cool. Yeah, I think a lot of people want that, but I think it's a testament to you, Clay, to the way that you ran the business and made it part of the family. You know what I mean? Because I think sometimes as parents, we get so busy and we think, I don't want to bring my kids, or I don't want to, you know what I mean? Or maybe let me just put him on his iPad and just sit him there and do his own thing. And it's like, I think if you're an entrepreneur and you do have kids, whether they're young or old, take them with you, right?
Yeah. A lot of that was my wife. She was like, "We're coming with you, whether you like it or not." We want to spend time with you. But I agree. I mean, get them involved and make it fun, and but that's something people ask me, "What are you most proud about?" And they think it's going to be one of my successes or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, the thing I'm most proud about is that my kids want to be in the business and are in the business with me, and I get to work with them every day, and that's the thing
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So that's where I really want to finish our time with today, is to talk a little more about your wife, because it was Warren Buffett. I think they did an interview with Warren Buffett, and they were like, what's the one thing, and he said a couple things there, but the first one he said, be very careful the person you marry.
Yeah.
Because that will be the difference between you succeeding or failing. So make sure you find the right person that you marry, right? And then secondly, he said, I said no 99 times before I said yes once.
Right.
And that's Warren Buffett. And so how did you guys meet? How did you know she was the right one for you?
For me, it was love at first sight. When I saw her, I was like that, and I was like, man, I gotta marry this woman,
that's
right?
Cool.
And I don't think she had the same feeling. I had to work a little bit at it.
That's that deal maker that
I got it done.
That's the best deal that you made, right?
Best deal I ever made. But thank God she said yes. I definitely, she's a beautiful woman, so I'm very, very lucky. So
Did y'all meet in college, or were y'all?
No, I met her here in San Antonio. I was here in real estate already, and met her, and she's a little younger than me, and so worked out perfectly.
Worked out great, right? Was she in real estate too?
She did. No, she got into real estate after we met.
Okay.
And then she was like, you know what, I'm going to get into real estate, and initially started leasing apartments, and then got a real estate license, and now she's running our property management company.
Now, did y'all date for a while, or did you?
Did.
I mean, you moved pretty quickly. Okay.
No, dated a couple years.
Okay.
And I knew, for me right away, that she was the one.
What I tell people is, and I, of course, got to from my own experiences. One part is actually, finding somebody that you're attracted to, but the other part is somebody that has similar values,
Right,
as you do. That way, we want the same things. We're going the same way,
right.
And you identified her to be one of those people in those two.
Oh yeah, and she compliments me. She definitely does. I mean, and pushes me and keeps me in line as well. I need that probably. So
that's great, man.
Yeah.
So how many years married now?
Been married for 25 years.
Wow,
Putting me
that's
on the
awesome.
spot there. Yeah, 25 years.
That's
Been together.
Better be right.
Been together.
He's watching this show.
Yeah.
I'll be in trouble.
I'm getting a text later.
I'll catch a chancla when I get home or something,
That's funny. That's awesome.
Yeah. So been blessed, man.
Congratulations.
Blessed. Thank you.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
And so 3 kids, right?
3 kids. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
And they're all in the family business.
All in the
Or
business.
soon to be
Two already.
Yeah.
Tyler and Tristan both work with us already, and then my daughter's at college, and she's already going to join. And then my daughter-in-law actually works in the business as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I think that's a wonderful story. But how old were you when you first got married then?
24.
24.
Yeah.
Okay. So mid-20s. That's a good age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A little young.
Little young.
Yeah. I would encourage people to be a little older.
A little older, yeah.
Nowadays, I think that's what I tell him. I'm like, go live life, go
live life a little
go
bit.
experience things.
You gotta. I think sometimes it's hard to find that right person.
Yeah,
but I think circumstances, God brings that right person. You know what I mean? And then you know it, kind of like you
Definitely.
knew it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So that's wonderful, man. I think that's a huge, huge piece because over the years, as I've coached entrepreneurs, many times we talk about the 3 people in your life, and this is one thing I make all my agents do when they come on. I say, take the 3 people in your life and put them in, the 5 people that you spend the most time in your life and put them in 3 categories.
Yeah.
The first category is they're a detractor, which means they suck your energy out.
Yeah,
They come in, the plants die. They're always on you. They're always, you know what I mean? It's just, they're just always negative, always mad, always victims. They're detractors. We all have them.
Energy vampire.
Energy vampires.
Yeah.
Second are neutralizers. They're just kind of there. Yeah. And the third are people that are pushing you and motivating you and influencing you well, right? And what's so crazy is a lot of times that detractor in their life is the spouse. It's the person like, well, I can't, what am I going to do with her? Or what am I going to do with him?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, well, you might, it's like, well, what do you do? It's like, it sometimes that's the biggest thing that holds people back.
No, I agree.
Is picking the wrong person.
Yeah, you got to have that right person to back you and be supportive and be there with you every step of the way. And then then just your friends, people you hang out with.
Big
It's
time.
so important.
Big time.
I tell
Family
young
member,
people,
yeah.
family
Yeah.
members, and friends. I tell people like, if you want to soar like an eagle, you can't. Hang with a turkey or
Yeah,
something
that's right.
like that?
That's a good one. I love that one.
I mean, you can't. You got to be careful with your friends, and if you surround yourself with successful, motivated people, you're gonna tend to be successful and motivated.
That's good.
You hang out with people who are just time wasters, and you're gonna fall into that trap. I think it's
So
important
much.
for the younger people to realize if you really want to be successful, you can do it.
Yeah.
Just find the right people to be with and work hard, and you're gonna make money.
And that's a good follow-up question for Tristan there. It's like, okay, now you're in this social media world where everybody seems like they're a movie star. You know what I mean? Everybody's got millions of views, and it's like you're going to these networking functions, high exposure. I mean, everybody's so out there. Your core group of friends and stuff, how have you been able to really find the right guys and gals to be friends with or to be, in relationships with?
Yep, I kind of just look for people that have the same goals as me. Like, if they want to be successful in business, I'll see their work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And that kind of gives me a good judgment on if it would be good for me long term to hang out with them.
Yeah.
There's some people that are a lot of fun, but long term, they're probably not a good friend or a good person to be around. So it sucks, but you got to make those cutoffs.
Yeah. And so, do you still hang out with a lot of your buds from high school and from
I'm kind of a loner a little bit. Yeah.
Are you? Okay.
I hang out with a couple friends. I have a good group of 5 people.
Yeah.
And those are my main 5.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
See that, and I guess those 5 they've kind of recently over the past couple of years you really made those friendships, right? Sounds like okay.
Yeah.
And what do they do? Are they in real estate? Are they doing business? I mean, tell us about how you, at such a young age, with such an incredible company that you're representing, really continue to have the success that you guys have been having.
Yeah, one of my friends, he's from high school, just known him my whole life, and he's always wanted to work, so he fit right in. He's actually running our basketball gym. Another one of my friends is from elementary school, and he'll grind all day. And then my other friends I just kind of met networking, and they wanted the same things that I wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have a basketball gym?
Yeah, a basketball gym that we own, and, and all 3 of my kids were ballers,
What?
And so I opened a gym up, and
Where's it at?
Off of Houseman in 1604.
Okay,
called Court of Legends.
Okay,
And-
I've seen that place.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a guy named Rob Gill runs it for us.
Okay.
And pretty kind of taken over the gym. It's pretty much his now, to be honest.
I
and,
love that,
And we've
man.
kind of worked a deal with him, and he's
Yeah.
really doing great things with it. So
Okay.
yeah, people want to ever look him up. Rob Gill, Court of Legends.
So he kind of runs. They do teams, leagues, kids,
a lot of AAU
adults,
teams.
adults
AAU
too?
teams rent
Okay.
from us, for practices. He does a lot of training. He played college basketball.
Wow.
And great trainer, so he trains a lot of people.
Man, that is so cool.
Yeah.
I love that. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So you bought that because your boys like to play ball.
Yeah, I bought it, and during COVID we opened it up, and,
Wow.
mainly for them to just get in and practice, and
That is cool.
and it's worked out really well for us, and
That's great.
it's been,
So it's a profitable business in its own right.
Yeah, definitely, it's done well for us.
That
yeah.
is so cool,
Yeah.
man. Wow. You guys are just so much fun. We could probably talk all day if,
I
if
know.
you let us.
We
You know
could,
what I mean? How far down we go in the rabbit hole, you know what I mean? We would just talk and talk and talk. Well, we want to finish it up. Thank you guys for coming out and visiting with us. I mean, you can find them both. You find Tristan all over social media.
Yeah.
You know, Invest5 is the website, right? Invest5.
Invest5S. Uh-huh.
Invest5s.com. If you have questions or maybe interested in some of these incredible investor opportunities that they have, we're really hoping to work with you guys on doing more of a retail type thing.
Yep,
because we work with a lot of first time, second time, home buyers that could really benefit from that.
Yeah, definitely.
And so we're going to put a lot of that stuff out there and help you sell some of these houses.
Yeah.
And man, I really appreciate the stories. You know what I mean?
No,
And that
thank
stuff
you.
is gold for the person that listens to it. And so thank you guys so much for coming out.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
we'll see you guys on the next one. Remember, the first Friday of every month, the AE podcast will be putting another episode out for you guys with an incredibly successful entrepreneur. And so thank you, Clay. Thank you, Tristan, for coming out today.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.